And at quarterback from Texas Tech, number 15, Patrick Mahomes.
What an extraordinary environment here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Their home opener today. What's it like on the field, Peter Schrager?
Tom, it is incredible out here. We know that Patrick Mahomes off to this amazing start. He's never played a regular season game in front of this crowd. It's loud as can be. They open the gates at 7 a.m. The energy is through the roof. The challenge is for the defense, for the 49ers, and defensive coordinator Robert Saleh said, this guy's been sacked once in 2 games. He told us no one's hit him. Why not us?
A challenge indeed for the 49ers. Their head coach is Kyle Shanahan in his second year. Went 6-10 a year ago. And for Andy Reid, what a remarkable career. 60 years young from Los Angeles, California. His 20th season as an NFL head coach. His 6th in Kansas City. 49ers won the toss, or I beg your pardon, Kansas City won the toss, deferred to getting the football in the second half. So here we go. Harrison Butker spins it away, and this will be DJ Reed Jr. Had a big 90-yard return last week, and this went up to the 20-yard line. 26 years young is Jimmy Garoppolo, grew up outside of Chicago. And some of the numbers, only 4 road starts as a 49er. He came over last year, you may remember, from New England, went 5-0 as a starter down the stretch. Threw for a franchise record 1,500+ yards in his first 5 starts. Marquise Goodwin in motion. They're going to throw it on first down, and that's the tight end Kittle. Is that a completion? No, he dropped it. Those are the kinds of mistakes that the 49ers are going to win here in Kansas City. Just cannot continue through the day.
Look at Joe Staley at left tackle, steady as they come. Offensive line has done a good job of run blocking this year, blocking for the leading rusher in the NFL. Matt Breida, George Kittle just dropped one. That guy can call plays now. He'll put his guys in position to make plays.
Second down, they put it in the hands of Goodwin, and that did not fool the Kansas City defense. Steven Nelson in on the tackle. This is a defense, with all the talk about how great their offense has been, the defense has given up over 1,000 yards through the first 2 games and 32 points per game. It will need to tighten up under Bob Sutton.
Yeah, they need to improve in every area. In one area, a big improvement needs to come is from the pass rush. Only 2 sacks on the year. Justin Houston, number 50. Dee Ford, 55. Need to get it going and watch out for Big Chris Jones. Best inside pass rusher, number 95 for the Chiefs.
Loss of 2, a third down and 12. Breida slips a couple of tackles, but well short of the first down, up to the 25. So it's 3 and out after the big drop by Kittle on the first play from scrimmage. And immediately we'll get a look at the electrifying Tyreek Hill, 2-time Pro Bowl return specialist. His first 2+ years in the league, 4 punt returns for a touchdown, including a 91-yarder against San Diego on the opening Sunday.
I wouldn't kick it to him, Tom. No way. Kick it away from him. Anybody but him.
They dropped DeMarcus Robinson back there with him, and they clearly were not going to let him catch it. So that's punted out of bounds. And they will spot it, let's see, all the way up to the 44-yard line. Thought initially it was around the 38, but here comes Mahomes. Just turned 23 on Monday. Grew up in White House, Texas. 10 touchdowns, an NFL record through the first 2 games of the season. In fact, you go back to his 1 start last year when they sat down Alex Smith and gave Mahomes a start after they had a playoff spot wrapped up. He's thrown more touchdowns than any quarterback in his first 3 games in the NFL. This is Kareem Hunt. And he's up to the 48-yard line. That'll be a gain of close to 5, if not 6, for Hunt. And boy, you talk about weapons. They've been rock solid, Chris, up front. Schwartz has never missed a snap in his NFL career, his 99th consecutive game. But these guys right here, wow.
Yeah, they're all running backs when they get the ball in their hands early. Travis Kelce, obviously a huge target in the red zone.
Hey, we're good. Hey, 56 run. 56 run. And the blue lady. We're done.
Tyreek Hill in the backfield. They're going to put it in his hands. And he's able to slip his way close to a first down into 49er territory. Needed to get to the 47. He does, +1. They'll move the chains. Defensively for the 49ers, we mentioned how great Buckner has been so far this year. 3.5 sacks already, second most in the NFL. Reuben Foster playing for the first time this year, and Malcolm Smith is playing for the first time as a 49er after signing a contract as a free agent last year.
Color.
First pass attempt for Mahomes into the hands of Sammy Watkins. That'll be a gain of close to 9. Watkins only 25 years old, despite growing into the NFL in 2014 as a 4th pick overall.
You see right there, when I look at Mahomes, and Watkins has certainly been an addition to this offense, but I talked about his mental ability to pick things up to be an NFL quarterback. He does a very good job of using his eyes and shoulders to move people. Doesn't give away his target too early.
Far sideline and missed an open Watkins. It'll bring up 3rd down. You know, it's incredible. You saw that note a moment ago on what they're averaging on 1st and 2nd downs. They have only had 15 3rd down plays this entire season. Through the first 2 games, that's the fewest by any team since 1991.
Well, that's a credit to them and the constant ability to attack downfield.
Third down in the yard, and they swing it out of the backfield, and able to slip a tackle, and stepping out of bounds is Tyreek Hill for a first down. Let's check in for the first time today with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. Let's go. Packers, Redskins, and the guy that Mahomes replaced. Opening drive, Alex Smith throws this 46-yard touchdown pass to Paul Richardson. Redskins up early in this one, 7-0. And Tom, don't get too comfortable with Schrags back on that sideline, Tom.
Well, believe me, everywhere he walks, Carissa, as you know, I mean, he is a star in NFL circles. Morning show on the NFL Network and our work at Fox with you every single week. He's almost above our group at this point.
Oh, just about. We bring him down, Northville. Hey, just a quick point about Tyreek Hill and how Andy Reid finds creative ways to get him the football. He can make people miss his space. Exactly what he did to Fred Warner to give him the first down.
Back in a moment.
You got a great play caller in Andy Reid. Robert Saleh trying to counter. The one piece of advice I'd give my teammates, my guys, you have to be patient with this offense, understanding they're going to move the ball. You cannot get frustrated. Tighten up in the red zone.
Fake the handoff and rolling and batted down. That's an excellent defensive play, making a statement early on. The 2nd-year #1 pick out of Alabama, Reuben Foster, suspended the first 2 games of this season. He was nicked up quite a bit his rookie year, but when he's on the field, he is very much a difference maker.
Yeah, everybody thinks Reuben Foster, thumper, crush, kill, destroy. That time he showed his ability to be able to cover Conley on a bootleg drag route. Reuben was able to run with him to bat it away.
Second down and 10. Great protection. You give this guy, now it'll start to break down. And again, batted down in coverage, this time by the linebacker Fred Warner, a rookie who's playing excellent football for the 49ers. 3rd down and 10.
We talk about the skill around Patrick Mahomes. That offensive line right there has been pretty darn solid. He misses Travis Kelce right there wide open in the flat because there was a little bit of a bust. Normally he will not make that same mistake twice. He'll know where his checkdowns are. The next time they get in that situation, I guarantee you he will find the open receiver.
Kansas City, one of 3 teams in the NFL, along with the Bears and the Buccaneers, to score a touchdown on their opening drive in each of the first 2 games. Early movement along the line. This will be a false start, which will back them up 5 more. 3rd and 10 will become 3rd and 15.
So this is obviously
offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
the situation you want to be in as Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator. He wants to be successful on not only just 1st down, but 2nd down, because why? Here's the reason. On 3rd down, the Chiefs turn into a normal NFL offense with normal plays. They don't have all the tricking plays like they run on 1st and 2nd down, and that's when they're most dangerous. And they have the least amount of 3rd downs for offenses in the league.
Yep. Converted their only 3rd down so far today, but this is 3rd and forever, and they come after. They dump off the screen to Spencer Ware, the former starter, and very close to a 1st down. If he did not get there, it's going to make you think about going on 4th down and less than a yard.
It's really a smart call, because you're going to get pressure on a zone blitz. You're run the screen away from the zone blitz. Sometimes you get lucky when you do this, and I'll tell you, if I want tough yards, I don't know if there's anybody in the league that I would choose other than Spencer Ware. I know that's not a very popular comment. I know one thing: he will give you everything he has for every single inch of that field.
Out for the measurement, and by that much, maybe what, a foot?
Yeah.
You're the Chiefs. You're the #1 offense on the planet.
No problem.
You're
Tomahawk chalk it.
That game. Are you going?
Tomahawk chalk, go. Whatever that thing is. Go for it. Absolutely, you go for it here. I don't even hard count, Tom. I don't even hard count to try to get the 49ers to jump. I trust this offensive line, and I love my running backs and Kareem Hunt, whose strength is he always falls forward. Rarely does he lose yards when he carries the football.
Well, they've not had to run it much this season. They've been so good in the passing game. 4th down and less than a yard.
Gray.
And now they go out of shotgun. Read option. Mahomes will keep it, and he picks up a 1st down. Barely, but a 1st down.
Again, the difficulty of playing this offense. It's most like a college offense that you'll see in the NFL, because we have what we call a speed option. You're isolating that man. You're putting him on an island. Instead of making a risky pitch decision, Patrick Mahomes does the right thing and gets through Cassius Marsh to get the 1st down. The other thing he does really well is protects the football, understanding he's going to get hit. He becomes a runner, Tom, anytime you're in short yardage and goal line situations. Number 15.
Going to throw it on 1st down. Lay it off out of the backfield to Anthony Sherman, the fullback. And he's on his feet, fighting to try to get to the end zone. And just short. Sherman starting his 83rd consecutive game. This is one powerful cat out of UConn.
So when you have so many weapons, the one guy that you don't think is going to get the ball, guess what? He gets the ball. Because right now, Andy Reid's like an evil genius mad scientist. He gets the ball. No, he gets the ball. Then as a defense, who do I defend? Who do I take away? There's too many options.
Well, he had a 36-yard touchdown reception, his only touch of this season in the opening week game against San Diego. Hunt into the end zone. 3 straight games, Kansas City a touchdown on its opening possession. Well, you talk about coming home for your opening drive after what you've done on the road. How about this?
Yeah, well, we talk about all the flash that they bring. How about the 6 guys up front? Kareem Hunt walks in there untouched because of those guys. Making a hole, taking pride, giving Patrick Holmes time to throw, giving Kareem Hunt, Spencer Ware, holes to run through. They are a juggernaut.
Harrison Butker, second-year kicker out of Georgia Tech, and this one right down the middle. What a start. Home opener in Kansas City. And welcome home to the Chiefs.
Head coach Kyle Shanahan coming up to his defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. Tell you 1 of 2 things. Hey, don't worry about it. We'll get that back. Or he's saying it can't be that easy. 1 of the 2. And right now, I got the feeling that's the former.
11 plays, 57 yards. They wouldn't punt the ball to Hill. Had a very short punt, great field position, and now the 49ers will get a possession for the second time. Jimmy Garoppolo went to college at Eastern Illinois, broke all of Tony Romo's passing records there. Was drafted in the second round in 14 by New England, played in 17 games, only 2 starts, backing up Tom Brady over 3 years. They made the deal on Halloween to bring him to the 49ers. He went 5-0 down the stretch. Week 1 this year threw 3 interceptions. Last week 2 touchdowns, but was sacked 6 times. Breida, the NFL's leading rusher, breaks it to the other side of the field and lots of running room. And he's all the way to midfield. Second year back out of Georgia Southern.
So you look at the film and you say, where do the 49ers have an advantage? They love their matchups in the running game. This guy right here with the vision in the cup at the leading rusher in the NFL is nice and patient, and he does have the ability with his 4.3 speed to go the distance. Actually a nice defensive play.
Right down the middle of the field, and how about Goodwin hanging on? Back in the lineup, took a big hit from Eric Murray, who's filling in for the injured Eric Berry.
A Goodwin back from a leg injury, and that's good. When you're a wide receiver and you're coming back from injury, Goodwin's working inside on a little dig route. When you're coming back from an injury, the one thing you want to get through is a good shot to make sure you're okay. He bounces right up. That's a great sign for the 49ers.
And you were talking about what a tough guy Goodwin is before the game today.
Yeah, he's a track guy. He's got to feel right. He's feeling right. He's feeling right today. He helps this offense.
Garoppolo to throw it, and Garcon dropped it. A rare drop for the 11-year veteran Pierre Garcon.
So one of the keys to the matchup, and where the 49ers have struggled, 55% completion rate, right? 6 sacks last week. It's on everybody. The one thing they have to do is be able to defeat man-to-man coverage. Last week against Detroit, the Lions secondary shut those guys down. Jimmy held the ball because nobody was open, and he also has to make better decisions of dumping the ball and throwing it away.
Second down and 10. This is Alfred Morris, a former Washington Redskin. And Alan Bailey wraps him up for a loss of 2. Third down and long coming up again for the 49ers.
Saved the sacks right there. Look at the time that he's holding the football. In just comparison, usually the average time that a quarterback gets rid of the football, that's around 2.5. Last week against the Vikings, Aaron Rodgers got rid of that football in 2.2 seconds. You have to catch and deliver.
Wow, you saw some of those on there. 7+ seconds. Third down, and Garoppolo dropped back to the 45. The Chiefs only with 2 sacks through the first 2 games. Dee Ford, the first one to arrive.
What brings fear into an offensive tackle? That's speed, my friend. And Dee Ford right here brings speed off the edge. And right there, you beat Joe Staley. And that's an accomplishment in itself, but he beat him with speed. The one thing that helps a defense playing at home because of the noise, Joe Staley was a little bit late out of his stance.
See, the next punt return for a touchdown for Hill will tie the great Dante Hall for the most in Chiefs franchise history. Pinion drops a punt inside the 15 and a return out to the 17. So the second time we get a look at these Chiefs already in front of the opening quarter, 7-0. Patrick Mahomes, a second-year quarterback out of Texas Tech. 3 straight road games to start a career as a quarterback. Only Jeff Hostetler's ever done that, going back to the late 80s, early 90s. And on first down, their second possession. That is caught over the 25-yard lines by Chris Conley. And there's a penalty flag down. Tony Correnti, our referee today.
They just attack you all over the field, Tom. They have receivers everywhere, so you have to defend the whole field. You might say, well, doesn't everybody do that? No, because not every quarterback.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 38. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play.
Has the arm
automatic
strength
first down
to defend you. I believe that was on Antone Exum, who's taking Jaquiski Tartt's spot. Very good player, Antone. They felt very confident about him coming in the game. But I'm talking about the Chiefs make you defend the whole field. He has the arm strength to make crossbody throws and throw it 80 yards the other way. So it's very difficult to defend this offense because they force you every single time to defend the whole field.
Jaquiski Tartt, an outstanding strong safety, being replaced today by Antone Exum in his 4th year out of Virginia Tech. So they started inside the 20, and now after a completion and a penalty, they put it in the hands of Watkins, who had a big run last week and a big run here. Looked like nothing there. Cut it back to the inside and a gain of 12. He had a 31-yard rush in Pittsburgh a week ago.
Talked about Patrick Mahomes described Sammy Watkins. How do you describe him? As a running back. And why? Because he's making 3 guys miss tackles. If you want to point something to the 49er defense, an area where they struggled, it's been missed tackles. Robert Saleh talked about that during the week. They're taking poor angles. See ball, get ball. It's not that hard.
Hey, Mike 48, Mike 48, Mike 48. That's a line. Right side.
They get to Kareem Hunt. All day to throw and looking down the field to Hill. And broken up by the great Richard Sherman. Sherman's been bothered with a sore heel all week long, but able to recover, slightly underthrown.
Yeah, this is on him. He misses because you can't overthrow him. He's too fast to overthrow him, but this is what Richard Sherman does. He never quits, he never stops, he never surrenders, and is able to get that left arm in there to swat down. Timed it perfectly. It's easy to see in it's easy to see that in slow motion. When it's happened real time, that's a great play by Richard Sherman. That's why he's a future Hall of Famer.
That's why you heard the boos. They replayed that on the scoreboards in each end zone, thinking that should have been a penalty. They come back to Kelsey, the great tight end out of Cincinnati. And he's inside the 35 to the 31-yard line. Boy, weapon after weapon after weapon for Patrick Mahomes.
This is what I'm talking about. You know, you got a guy here, you got a guy out here, you got him here. Defending the whole field. When you give Andy Reid this many toys, he's not going to screw it up. You can throw it to Kelsey, you can throw it to Hunt, you can throw it to Watkins, you can throw it to Hill. And Patrick Mahomes is so patient with his play action, which makes it extra difficult to defend.
66 consecutive games now with a reception for Kelsey, who has more receptions and more receiving yards than any tight end in the NFL the last 3 years. On the ground, and a flag comes in late. And the initial signal is another one against the 49ers.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Defense number 91. This 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play and an automatic first down.
Well, we mentioned the Chiefs started the season on the road, and the Kansas City Star about Mahomes exceeding impossible expectations, a revelation, a generational talent, gifted, looks like a star already. And you're only talking about 3 games into his NFL career as a starting quarterback.
It almost seems like Andy Reid was trying to temper a little bit those expectations. But I have seen nothing yet to temper because of the talent, his talent, but more importantly, the talent around him.
First down, and down the middle, wide open, and he overthrew the backup tight end, Demetrius Harris. For more on Patrick Mahomes, here's Peter Schrager.
Tom, you mentioned how excited Andy Reid can be, but also how he's trying to kind of slow things down. But guess what? No one was more excited than Andy Reid. Last year, draft time, he put Patrick Mahomes in the room, said he closed the door, ordered lunch. 6 hours he spent with Patrick Mahomes, said do an entire offensive install. Mahomes was aces and said, I want more. Andy Reid fell in love with Patrick Mahomes pre-draft, even though he had Alex Smith.
And make no mistake, Alex Smith had a great year last year. Never turned the ball over, got him to the playoffs for the 4th time in 5 years, and he is sacked on the blitz. It's Antone Exum, from the safety position. Let's check in back in Los Angeles with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Giants and Houston, the battle of winless teams, we should say. Both at 0-2. Saquon Barkley trying to change that. Nice 15-yard run for the rookie. Giants up 7-3 nearing the end of the first quarter. Tom, Chris, Peter.
All righty, Kurt, thank you very much. So a rare sack on Mahomes brings up 3rd down and forever. 3rd and almost 17.
Look at the alignment. They only have 4. They have guys 15 yards back at the sticks. Smart play by the 49ers. Basically.
And Mahomes throws, got hit as he threw, and it's incomplete. No penalty flag, and now one comes in late.
Wow.
Well, that almost looked like an uncatchable ball. And I think they're going to throw the flag on Adrian Colbert. They may talk this one over.
Well, this should never be in a position to be a possible pass interference for one reason. You had 7 guys at 17 yards deep. In this situation, your deepest the deepest. You let Patrick Mahomes run that football.
Defense number 24. Since the foul occurred in the end zone, the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line.
K'Waun Williams.
An automatic first down.
Yep, K'Waun Williams, not Colbert.
Look at the alignment. This is smart, okay? You're protecting the sticks. These guys are speed, deep as the deepest. Patrick Mahomes is not going to run. If he runs, he's going to run for 10 more yards. He's going to slide. You're going to concede the field goal. But this is a no-no where you don't let people get behind you. You're deepest the deepest in that situation, especially when you don't have over-the-top help by another defensive back.
Well, while they're talking things over, we'll be right back after this message from State Farm. So here 2 years or 2 drives in a row. You go 3rd and 15. Kansas City cashes in. On a 3rd and almost 17, they get a 31-yard penalty. 3 of the first downs on this drive have come via the penalty. And into the end zone. It is Kareem Hunt.
Well, Kelsey's not only a factor catching the ball in the red zone, he's also a factor in blocking in the red zone. Take a look at Travis Kelce right here. He's going to come in and become a lead blocker for Kareem Hunt. And actually, Kelsey doesn't get touched until he gets into the end zone. They're just getting, look, I don't, you know, it is what it is. The film doesn't lie. They are getting manhandled up front. That's the end of it. Right now, you got to start getting those guys on the sidelines, Tom, and you got to challenge them. Let's go. We're still in this. Let's go.
Point after is good. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for the highest scoring team in the NFL. Oh, they'll keep you up at night. Late plays, 84 yards, aided greatly. The Chiefs on 3 penalties, totaling 51 of those 84 yards.
They're good enough. They don't really need any help.
No. DJ Reed Jr. has it bounce out of the end zone. And Fox Sports celebrating our 25th season of covering the NFL. Week 2, 1994. Joe Montana as a Chief. Here's John Madden.
You just get the feeling in the stadium, and I'll guarantee it's big. And if it's not big for the stadium and the game and the whole thing the second week, it's big for Joe Montana.
Montana kept it.
That's why Joe Montana's Joe Montana.
Montana that game threw a couple of touchdowns. Kansas City won it 24-17. They went 9-7 that year, lost in the wild card to Miami. So now down 14-0. And it looked like Juszczyk got tied up in coverage, and that will draw a flag. That'll be a penalty against Kansas City.
It's not bad coverage by Anthony Hitchens. Juszczyk is somebody that you always have to be worried and concerned about. Hitchens is their dime backer, meaning he's their best cover guy.
Pass interference, defense, number 53. The ball will be spotted at the spot of the foul and an automatic first down.
You're going to see him get a little bit handsy right here. He's in great position. He's running with him. He's just starting to grab the hands. And that was a quick flag and a quick pull by the official. Right there, you didn't see the pass interference because it occurred earlier in the action.
18-yard penalty. And to the ground with Breida. and he picks up close to 2.
Here's the thing about the 49ers offense, right? My captain obvious moment of the day is they got to score to counter. They got to get a touchdown and counter and slow down. Not only that, that's what you would like, but even just to stay on the field a little bit, because that defense right now are dazed and confused and exhausted early on because of the way and the speed that the Chiefs offense attacks you.
The 49ers had only run 8 plays on offense in this game before this drive began. Garoppolo completes it into Kansas City territory, and that's to Breida. Peter Schrager. Peter, check in with you on the field.
Guys, as you're watching Matt Breida make plays, it's interesting to note that Jerick McKinnon was basically the #1 option on all things for this offense. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch were hoping to pay and see him perform. Breida's filling in for McKinnon and doing an admirable job.
They need his 3rd down, and they give it to Alfred Morris, and he'll pick it up to the 45-yard line.
Talking to Kyle yesterday, he told us the one area that they really feel like they can have some success, and it's so important to his type of offense, is running the football. And the very football fundamental cliche reason is it sets up play action. And of course, a lot of his offense is based off of play action.
First down for the 49ers. Just outside the Kansas City 45-yard line. Alfred Morris back to the inside, powerful running. Flag comes in late from behind the quarterback on what might be the final play of the quarter. We'll see.
Late flag.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 58. 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's Weston Richburg. They brought him in as the free agent from the Giants to play center. Kyle Shanahan said he's been their most important signee during the offseason.
Yeah, he's been a huge pickup and is playing well. The chop block is defined by if one man's engaged high, somebody goes low. You can't do a 2-on-1. Partnered up there with Mike Person, number 68. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
That will be the final play of the quarter. Impressive for Kansas City indeed. Home opener, a 14-0 advantage. You're watching the NFL on Fox. We'll take a look at the 2 numbers in yellow. 47 yards of offense for the 49ers, been penalized for 66 yards.
Well, and of course, the last questionable PI, pass interference, put the ball on the 1-yard line in easy pickings for the Chiefs.
Very questionable. Well, after the shot clock penalty on Richburg, first down and 25. Breida pushes forward for a gain of maybe 3. Well, we talked about Breida being the leading rusher in the NFL. He had 11 carries for 138 yards last week. Had runs of 20, 28, 67. But he has the 25th most rushing attempts in the NFL, yet is the league's leading rusher.
Yeah, with that speed, and I'll tell you, he's a one-cut guy. He's a listed 190 pounds. He plays like he's 220 pounds with the power that he brings. Joe Staley jumping, Tom. One reason he got beat with speed after on a sack from D Ford.
Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, and will remain second down.
So that'll back him up 5 more. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson in L.A.
Thanks, Tom. So Falcons trailing 7-0 against the Saints when Matt Ryan finds rookie wide receiver Calvin Ridley for that 18-yard touchdown. We are all tied up at 7. Tom?
All right, Carissa, thank you. We'll be checking in on that one all day long. It's a big one in week 3 inside the NFC South.
Tom, I'm looking at these stands. Nobody's sat down yet. Nobody's sitting down. Unbelievable.
Garoppolo to Taylor. And it looked like he was down already. at the 47-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and very long for the 49ers. They had a good drive going here till a couple of big penalties, the chop block in particular.
Like I said, we talk about these Chiefs and you know, the area of weakness, at least the first 2 weeks, and they were expecting big improvement, has been their defense. 49ers are helping them with the defensive penalties and shooting themselves in the proverbial foot with the chop block.
Look at all the defenders.
Play the sticks.
8 of them. 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. And Garoppolo to Kittle. Cuts it back to the inside and fighting his way very close to a 1st down. It makes you wonder, you play that far off the line of scrimmage. How does a play like this happen?
Well, first of all, there's a free release. And one area that we talk about, you see all the guys are playing the sticks. The one thing you talk about, the San Francisco 49er defense missed tackles. Well, guess what? The Chiefs have had the same problem in their first 2 games. You have 3 guys taking 4 angles. George Kittle makes one cut inside. Here we go. It's a huge 4th down. Who's going to win up front?
They've got Morris in the I formation behind Juszczyk. 4th down in the yard. Morris has the 1st down to the 35-yard line. What a huge conversion on that 3rd down reception for big yardage to bring up 4th and less than a yard.
Well, that's what Alfred Morris has been, a steady guy in this league a long time. He's a good 1B for that man's offense, Kyle Shanahan. Morris will run with power. He understands that doesn't have to be anything fancy. Use my strength to get the 1st down.
Play it ascribed. They fake it to Morris this time. And wide open is Juszczyk. And he will find the end zone. Broken coverage here by Kansas City. And Garoppolo to Kyle Juszczyk for the touchdown. And that's a big answer for the 49ers. 35-yard score.
Now it's set up by play action. Juszczyk's going to come down here and sneak behind these guys. He's going to get back here. Now if you're the defeats the coverage. Nobody's running with Kyle Juszczyk. It's a blown coverage. They're sucked up by the running game. Juszczyk finds an open hole. Jimmy G predetermined in his mind, and he was right that he would be open.
Point after by Robbie Gould, right down the middle. Did the 49ers need that in the worst sort of way? Juszczyk to the end zone. A 7-point game. Beautifully renovated Union Station, downtown Kansas City. Weather has just been gorgeous. First feeling of fall. 49ers go 75 yards. They faced a 2nd and 26. Good Taylor for 10. Kittle within a yard. Morris on 4th down converts, and they get the touchdown to Juszczyk.
Well, Kyle Shanahan used play action so well in this offense. Now watch these guys. They're never going to cross the line of scrimmage, so you know it's going to be passed. And here's the thing I tell linebackers. Use your ears. Well, what the heck are you talking about, use my ears? When it's a run on any type of running play, the offensive line come out and they go, "Arr!" They grunt and growl. When it's a play action pass, you don't hear a peep. So whatever you have at your disposal as a player, including all 5 senses, things the guys don't use, they don't use their ears. And that's how you can determine between play action and the actual run.
That's great stuff. Great stuff. Mahomes finds Kelce, and he's up to midfield.
Well, they just tack you on 3 levels to one side. Kelce's going to work a 7. You got Sammy Watkins who's going to take off deep down the field. You get Kareem Hunt late in the flat. It's difficult to defend a 3-layer pass, and you give Patrick Mahomes that kind of time. Those guys with that kind of skill, he will find somebody open every single time. 3 levels.
We have not called the name DeForest Buckner 1 time so far through a quarter and a half. That means that Chiefs offensive line's doing a good job on him. Wide open. Down the middle of the field is Hill. He's in between 3 defenders and still found an opening inside the 10.
So Mahomes is playing with such genuine confidence. I'll just throw it up because I trust that number 10 will go win the football. That's what he does. And look, he's about 5'8", right? But he has ball locations. Colbert loses vision of the football. And Tyreek Hill, one thing you can say about him, he's got a little hop right there too on the vert. But he's a competitor and he wants the football. And look at him go airborne for that. Beautiful.
First and goal now. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, trying to make it 3 out of 3. They hand it to Hunt. And he's at the 5, maybe to the 4. The protection for Mahomes for the first 2+ games has just been extraordinary.
Oh, they're solid. And you look at the ability to get that ball to him. You need the protection that you talked about. And he's having fun playing. I mean, all his success, he's staying humble. But you know what? He has this genuine confidence because he believes in himself. More importantly, he believes in Andy Reid putting him in a position to win and the guys around him, including that offensive line.
Look at his formation. And it's Mahomes to hang on to it. He's back to the line of scrimmage. He faked the handoff to Hunt.
Yeah.
And Fred Warner read it beautifully. For more on Hill, here's Peter Schrager.
Tom, what's amazing about Tyreek Hill, and that a lot of people don't know, he scored incredibly high in his Wonderlic test. Andy Reid says his intellect is what is most amazing. He is one of the most cerebral players on the team. He knows how to track the ball. He knows how to get open. Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest players in the league, say one of the smartest receivers as well.
And one of the most improved route runners, Schrags. He works on it constantly in practice to improve and get better, and he's done that.
49er defense looking for a stop. Send Watkins in motion. And Spencer Ware in the backfield. Pressure now on Mahomes. He's in trouble. Now gets it away. Are you kidding me? Chris Conley, his second straight game with a receiving touchdown. He had incredible pressure, but he was able to get away.
Well, again, understanding the offense and his receivers, once Patrick Mahomes is forced out of the pocket, he is able to relocate his eyes downfield. His receivers go to work to him and back to him, and he's able to throw the dime for 25 away.
3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Man, oh man. Trying to stop this offense with these weapons? Go get them. Well, you go back to 1950, and how about some of these names? First 3 games to begin a season. Peyton Manning with Denver in 2013 threw 12 touchdowns. Mahomes needs 1 to tie him in this, the 3rd game. And he's tied some guy named Brady and passed some guy named Favre.
Go, go, go!
Taking a knee, DJ Reed Jr. back to the touchdown.
Well, composure is also part of his arsenal. He's under pressure right here. Ability to avoid the pressure. Eyes relocate downfield. Receivers working for him. And he fires the fastball low and away. And you got Grandma Cindy up here and Grandma Debbie. There, watch, that's Grandma Debbie right there. Grandma and Cindy's down here. My grandparents used to come to the game, Tom, and watch. The only difference is she's having a Diet Coke. Mine used to have some Winston Lights going. All of them. A couple heaters. That's back when you could smoke in stadiums. That's my grandparents.
The good old
but
days.
they loved it, yes.
Garoppolo looking for Goodwin. He had him open out there. Yes, there was coverage on the back end by Murray, but he's not going to be able to run with Goodwin. Not sure what happened there. Goodwin looked like he stopped.
It's a miscommunication right there. I think Jimmy thought he was going deep to the middle of the goalpost. Goodwin, I'll tell you what happened. Goodwin saw the safety sitting high up on top, so he will cut his route off where Jimmy thought he was going to go deep to the middle, but the safety was good position. Actually, I'm going to put that on Jimmy. I think Goodwin read the safety correct, and Jimmy's got to see the same thing that Goodwin does.
Rita stuffed at the line of scrimmage and smothered behind it. That'll be a loss of 2. 3rd down coming up, and let's go to Carissa Thompson.
Tom, in a game that no one saw, Bills already up 17-0 in Minnesota when Josh Allen keeps it for himself for his second rushing touchdown of the day. Bills up 24-0 on Minnesota. Tom?
You have got to be kidding me.
Got to be able to handle it. People tell you how good you are. Pretty soon you start listening. It's the NFL. You sleep on no one.
Third down and 11. Here comes the blitz. They get it away to Taylor, but he cannot slip a tackle, and the 49ers will punt. Excellent job by Kendall Fuller, the cornerback. He came over in the deal for Alex Smith from the Redskins.
Absolutely, Kendall Fuller is a smart guy. Not great speed, but outstanding instincts and quickness. Was able to win his one-on-one matchup against Taylor.
Tyreek Hill waiting on the punt.
Yeah, I had a special teams coach, Tom. We had a great punt returner. He says, we're not afraid of anybody, but I'm not stupid, so I'm not kicking to him. So that's the same advice. Don't kick to him.
Well, he's going to get a chance this time. And he'll call for a fair catch. 29-yard line. This will be the fourth possession. 3 for 3 so far, scoring touchdowns for the high-flying Chiefs on offense. Well, coming into this game, 405 passing yards per contest, 40 points per game. Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator, knew that was a challenge here today. 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns. This is Watkins again on the ground. That has been and the ball's loose. Let's see who has the football as Watkins fumbled it. It looks like a 49er was able, or rather, Hill at the bottom of the pile able to cover it up.
Such a great play by Antone Exum, number 38, who gets chopped by Kelsey. Does not give himself up, puts his shoulder right on the football and bounces it out. But when things are going your way, the ball will bounce your way. You see Exum right there defeating the chop block, not giving up, getting a good shot on Watkins, but the ball's bouncing their way.
And it ends up being a 9-yard gain. That's how good the Chiefs are going. A 9-yard gain on a fumble. Hand it off to Kareem Hunt. He'll get a first down up to the 40.
We just talked about all the weapons, and one of them certainly that Patrick Mahomes has disposal to is Tyreek Hill. This is about making a play, not waiting for a play to come to you, but go get the football. Look at the great vertical at 5'9", goes up and jumps over everybody and competes for the football. And you know what? His practice habits carry over into the game, because you watch him in practice, he competes every single snap in practice. He'll compete every single snap in the game.
First down out of a shotgun. Great protection again. Looking for and overthrew slightly DeMarcus Robinson. My, oh my. Wide open.
So it's identity. Who's in the ball game? DJ Reed, number 32, is in the ball game for Adrian Colbert. So let's attack DJ Reed. You're holding Exum on a crossing route. Robinson is wide open, and this is a rare mistake and a rare miss that Patrick Mahomes does not capitalize on. But identifying targets. You know, we talk about targets on offense. They identify targets on defense, and they go on the attack.
Robinson in his first regular season touchdown a week ago against the Steelers. Should have had a second one there. And now Mahomes, look at this. I mean, that's a late hit. That is unquestionably a late hit. This will be on Reuben Foster. And every time you turn around, 49ers are finding a way to shoot themselves in the foot. They're closing in on 100 penalty yards after this 15-yarder coming up.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 56. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
These are self-inflicted wounds by the 49ers, again helping the Chiefs move the football by mental errors. I get it that you're playing full speed and it's difficult, and you just have to be able to pull yourself off. I don't think there was anything malicious with Reuben Foster. But that's the rules, and you have to adjust your game. It's very difficult for a lot of guys that like to play physical like Reuben.
Just short of 90 penalty yards in this opening half against the 49ers, and now a penalty comes in from the secondary before the ball was ever snapped. They may have had too many players on the field.
As a snap was imminent, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, Thursday nights are about to get a lot bigger. Fox becomes a new network home of Thursday Night Football. And a good one. The Vikings and the Rams from Los Angeles. It all starts Thursday, 7:30 Eastern on Fox. Also live on the NFL Network and streaming on Prime Video. Now it's a game. What a great Thursday night game last week. The Cleveland Browns getting their first win in 2 years. Batted down at the line of scrimmage. On first down and 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Excellent job by Blair. Hands in the air. Sheldon Day.
Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. So Breeze is now in the record books for the most completions of all time, passing Brett Favre with that one right there, 6,301. Belongs to Michael Thomas right there. Saints up 13-7. Tom?
All right, Carissa, thank you very much. We'll be checking in with her, keeping us updated throughout the afternoon. A lot of good games around the NFL. They hand it to Hill. Tries to turn the corner. Defended beautifully there by the 49ers. It brings up 3rd down, and San Francisco certainly needing a stop here, or at least forcing a field goal try, and it would be a very long one for Butker.
So you're not getting there with 4 with any consistent pressure. So this is a decision that Robert Saleh has to make. Do I bring 5 and do I bring 6? The problem is you can't match their skill with your skill in the back end, so you're more vulnerable to a big play. Let's see, he might drop 8 here. Only 3 guys down.
Fumbled snap, early start, and a free play, and they find Kelsey at the 15, inside the 15. The problems for the 49ers continue.
Well, I don't know what you can go into your defensive playbook and do, because you're saying, all right, we're bringing 5, they're shredding us. We're bringing 6, they're shredding us.
Defense, player in the neutral zone at the snap. This penalty is declined. The result for the play, first down.
And we're dropping 8, and they're shredding us. And so right now, they really have to just calm down, and hopefully, instead of being passive, I think one adjustment is say, look, we just have to be aggressive. We give up big plays, we give up big plays. But Jimmy Ward right there stopped. Number 20 for the 49ers stopped because he heard the whistle. Kelsey was able to sneak behind him.
And both Marsh and Armstead crossing into the neutral zone early. 21-yard gain. Fake it one way, back the other way, and that is a touchdown to Demetrius Harris. Second touchdown pass of the afternoon for Patrick Mahomes.
Double move. This is on the rookie, Fred Warner. You get this type of release, your eyes are going to go back to the quarterback. Anytime you're in this area, every team in the country does a double move release. That's the linebacker. You get a release up inside. There's nobody running free. Do not disrupt the timing of the route by jamming the wide receiver, and it's too easy. And right now, the 49ers are only get beaten mentally and physically.
Point after is good. We still have 3:37 to go until halftime. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 2 through the air. And that's 12 touchdown passes this season to tie an all-time NFL record set by Peyton Manning in the first 3 games of the season, and we have over a half to go. I tell you what, if the Chiefs keep going like this season, They're going to have to make sure they have enough water for war paint down there.
I was just going to say, might better get the hooves out, needles in on war paint to IV him up. He's going to get tired. War paint's going to get dehydrated. It's 80 degrees here.
Eight plays, 72 yards. Patrick Mahomes now with 12 touchdown passes in the first 3 games of the season, tying the great Peyton Manning for most all time. Manning accomplished the feat in 2013 with Denver. Tom Brady had 11 in the first 3 games of 2011. And Mahomes has lots of time today to stand all alone.
Now, isn't it amazing though what an offense can do to help a defense? When you have that much confidence, and I'm just watching the energy and confidence that the Chiefs defense are picking up from the offense.
Now Garoppolo will try and answer before the half. Great protection. Now it begins to break down. He tries a shovel pass. It's knocked down, and so too is Garoppolo, and there to cover it up is Laken Tomlinson, the left guard.
They're going to get Nelson, number 20, for holding. He was all over Garcon because Jimmy wanted to hit Garcon deep. Nelson grabs him early in the route. Nelson's probably their best cover guy, man to man.
Holding, defense number 22. This penalty is declined. Holding, defense number 25. 2-0, excuse me, number 20.
Thank you.
This 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down.
So are you saying that Tony Correnti was basically going to say you were wrong?
No.
I have the old Fonzie line.
I have the ability up here to see with the camera. I love the play call by Kyle Shanahan, though, trying to strike deep, and Nelson was in press coverage. He was beat, so he did the smart thing in that situation. Grab hold of the guy. Take the penalty as opposed to having to go over top your head.
49ers have 3:28 until halftime. They have all 3 timeouts. They get a touchdown here. They're right back in this game. And they pitch it to Breida.
Wow. What a play.
And that's a veteran, the 4-time Pro Bowl linebacker, Justin Houston.
It's not a good sign right there.
Hurt. It looked like he lost his footing that step before. Houston was there to meet him.
Here's how you play and never give yourself up. Juszczyk's going to come out and try to cut Houston. He does get him on the ground, but being a great athlete, he's like springs on his knees, pops right back up, and is able to make an outstanding tackle in the open field. Great effort, Justin Houston. Love to see that.
Well, you certainly hope that Breida's okay. That almost looked like the entire leg just caved in on him there.
Yeah.
While they take a look at him, let's send it to Carissa Thompson.
I hate seeing that. Falcons trailing 13-7 against the Saints, Tom, when Matt Ryan connects with Calvin Ridley for his 2nd touchdown of the day. This one goes for 75 yards. Falcons up 14-13. Tom.
Of course, you already know Peter Schrager reporting earlier, and all 49er fans certainly know they brought in Jerick McKinnon to be their primary back this year. He's lost for the season with a torn ACL, and not sure exactly what happened there, but very awkward going down is Breida looking at the right knee.
So I just hate seeing this for any player, no matter what the situation. Especially Matt Breida's worked so hard, Tom, for his opportunity. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, let's see if he's able to put some weight on that thing. They'll get him to the locker room immediately with 3:10 left here. Hopefully we'll get a good report indeed. Our prayers are with him.
He's a tough kid.
Second down and 11 from the 49ers 40-yard line.
Second down and 10. Alfred Morris checks into the backfield to replace Breida. Garoppolo escapes Houston and rolls right. He'll keep it himself. Got a nice block there and steps along the sideline out of bounds at the 39, and a flag comes in late. Now this might be one of those plays where if you're a defensive player and you're already grabbing your hair with your hands, where a quarterback, you think he's going to go out of bounds and he doesn't go out of bounds, what are you supposed to do? Of course, it might not be the case at all. This could be coming back.
Well, it just puts everybody in an awkward position, and quarterbacks take advantage of this rule.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 46. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
And once that guy becomes a runner and he's not going out of bounds, then he has to become an open, free target. I remember one time playing the Chicago Bears, Jim Harbaugh, the crafty Jim Harbaugh, was running for a first down. He acted like he was going to go out of bounds. Then he tried to run me over. So I understand the difficult position that defenders are put in along those sidelines with quarterbacks.
Jim Harbaugh ran you over at Michigan.
It's a try to run me over.
State guy.
You missed the word try. There's one deep.
And it's incomplete on second down and forever. I just want to make sure I clarify now. You're saying he tried a Michigan guy against a Buckeye.
We were renewing our rivalry, and I was still bitter about the 86 guaranteed victory that he was able to produce on. Of course, we missed a field goal to win that, but who remembers that? Big third down for the Chiefs. D Ford, Justin Houston, pass rushers, time to shine. One area they struggled, pass rush.
Four-man rush, and Garoppolo steps up, throws, great coverage. Batted down by Orlando Scandrick, the 10-year Dallas Cowboy, his first season at Kansas City.
Yeah, Bourne's going to come inside, work back outside. Once he comes inside, then you have to defend the outcut because he's trying to create space. The ball's just a tad late, allowing Scandrick to get there, swatted away. Just the timing of this offense, the timing between Garoppolo and the wide receivers, it is not in sync. It's not in sync. It wasn't in sync week 1. In sync week 2, or yet to be in sync in week 3.
Tyreek Hill drops back along with Robinson on the punt by Pinion. And that will bounce out of bounds in the 32. So here you have 2 minutes and 1 second. Actually, that took us to the 2-minute warning. Chiefs have 2 timeouts left. And this offense, which has already put 28 on the board, with another chance before halftime. Well, this is certainly encouraging.
Yep.
Matt Breida cutting and running along the sideline behind the 49ers bench. Quarterback comparison. Mahomes and all these weapons.
Just think of the 2 deep ones he missed. Missed Robinson wide open in the deep one.
From the 32-yard line, a first down. They hand it off to Spencer Ware. And that's an excellent tackle made in the open field by Reuben Foster. And the Chiefs naturally in hurry-up mode. A minute 47 to play until halftime, and the Chiefs have 2 timeouts remaining. Blitz coming. And he just does get it away with an eye on Kelsey and Warner there in coverage. It brings up third down. So now all of a sudden, if you're the 49ers, you're saying, we have 3 timeouts left. There's a minute 32 to go, stopping the clock. We'd like to get the football back ourselves.
Yeah, I like the aggressive play call, too, of bringing a blitz. Remember, anytime against this team, you bring blitz, you're a little bit vulnerable, but it beats sitting back and letting them give you a death by 1,000 cuts. Get aggressive. Got Kelsey and Foster lined up together right down here.
What a catch by Kelsey. Oh my goodness.
It's a matchup you'll take all day long. Because one, he's not going to outrun Reuben Foster, but he might outsmart him by deceptiveness. And when you have hands like that, it's easy. We pointed out, because Patrick Mahomes knows that's the matchup that I want, and we know the NFL is always a game of matchups. That's why he goes there. Matchup. I love. He loves, not me, I being him.
He is something. He is something. 1:25 to go until halftime. Get it away, left alone is Ware. Another first down. And he is out of bounds close to the 35. Stopping the clock with 1:18 to go.
You know, you're able to pick up the blitz. He's got a strong enough arm where he can throw his back foot up. Here comes pressure off the outside. Nobody accounts for Spencer Ware. And here's a stat that nobody will keep. Nobody forced more mental busts in the National Football League in coverage than the Kansas City Chiefs. Nobody. Pittsburgh had about 10 of them last week.
Blitz coming, forcing Mahomes again out of the pocket. He was deadly the last time here, and this time he is shoved out of bounds. Crowd's going to want a flag, and one is not going to come. He had left the pocket, and they were just trying to chase after it. Marshawn Armstead.
Good effort by Armstead. He's still in bounds. They got away with one. The way they protect these guys nowadays, he's probably still in midair. I'm going to give the credit to Arik Armstead. He had the ability to hit him while he was in air before he went out of bounds. Get a little love for the defense. Cut him a break, folks. They're trying.
They lobbed a screen, a juggling act for Damien Williams, very close to a first down. Williams in his first season with Kansas City after his first 4 in Miami. A very good receiver out of the backfield. It brings up third down.
Yeah, Schreggs, Andy Reid told us in a meeting with Schreggs and I that Damien Williams is a guy that's going to be a weapon in this offense. Loves his hands, which he showed right there. The one thing, and he's getting better, he needs to improve on his route running. That's the thing. The wide receivers are running backs, and the running backs are wide receivers in this offense. That's why they're so dangerous and why they cause so many problems and mental errors in the back end, because they have 5 or 6 guys that are eligible that can hurt you every time you catch the ball.
Free play again. Niners jump too soon. And very late penalty flag coming from the secondary as well. That ball was intercepted in the secondary. But a 49er may have started too early, which would be an automatic first down to Forrest Buckner.
They're going to get Exum, I think, on a hold on Kelsey, who, again, with his size, is a big target for safeties. He just boxes them out like a basketball player.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Pass interference. Defense number 38. This penalty is declined. Offside. Defense number 99 in the neutral zone at the snap. This 5-yard penalty will create a first down.
And so many of those plays today where penalties have just hammered the 49ers and put this defense in such a tough position to try and slow down the Chiefs.
Well, when you have a quarterback that has thrown for 219 yards, you start to lose confidence. And when you lose confidence, you start one of 2 things. You start guessing or you start grabbing. And right now the back end is guessing and grabbing for the 49ers.
It's almost 110 yards now in penalties against the 49ers. And it's just the first half. 4-man rush. Mahomes will fake the throw, stay on his feet. Carries inside the 15. And another penalty.
Holding offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. So the Redskins were up 21-10 late in the second when, guess what? Adrian Peterson takes it in from 2 yards out, his second touchdown of the day. Redskins lead this one 28-10. Tom?
We saw the Redskins on opening weekend. They looked very, very good in blasting Arizona, then had a major hiccup last week at home against Indianapolis, but obviously good so far today.
It's worked out well for Alex Smith and the Chiefs. You know, they train to get rid of a known good in Alex Smith for a potential great in Patrick Mahomes. That takes guts to make that call.
Kelsey. Look at the big fella. And he's inside the 20. He sidestepped Reuben Foster and picked up another 7-8 yards.
So I'm going to be going to my grave, and I'm going to yell from my grave, will you please, eyes up, head up, wrap up. Reuben Foster's coming in there for the kill shot, lowers his eyes. Kelsey, being the crafty veteran, puts on the brakes and does a Top Gun thing where Tom Cruise tells Cougar to fly by, or whatever that movie was, that line. Fly by. Let him go. I'm going to hit the brakes, and he'll go right past us.
Yeah, that was Top Gun.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people are familiar with that movie.
Okay. All right.
Williams spins out of bounds, and that is another first down. Peter Schrager.
Tom, you know we love NFL history. The most touchdowns to different receivers in a season was Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan. 13 different receivers 2 years ago caught touchdowns. We're almost 2.5 games in, and Patrick Mahomes has already thrown 8 touchdown passes to different players. 12 touchdowns total, 8 different players. We're in the red zone. Maybe another guy gets one here.
It'd be hard pressed to find one of those guys left, but they have him. Watkins inside the 5. Watkins to the end zone. And you can add another name to the list. That is his first receiving touchdown.
Running a quick slant route right here, and Sammy Watkins has a free release off of Jimmy Ward on the inside. See that? Untouched. And the one thing we talked about, Sammy Watkins turns into a running back after he catches the ball, and the problems with open field tackling in the back end for the 49ers continue.
Watkins, his first touchdown is a Kansas City Chief. They brought him in as a free agent during the offseason. Just another weapon to go with Hill and Kelsey and Hunt and Ware and Conley and Robinson and Harris and right on down the line. So you just witnessed NFL history. That is Patrick Mahomes' 13 touchdown pass this season. And he has set a new NFL record for most touchdown passes in a season's first 3 games, topping Peyton Manning 12. We talked about Tom Brady 11. Unbelievable.
Go get that ball. You got 2 grandmothers up here that would love to have that football. points.
Nearly 300 yards of total offense in the first half. '49ers will get it with 34 seconds left. Kurt Menefee, how about halftime?
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, the Broncos look to go 3-0 as they visit the Ravens. The Titans try to hand the Jags their first loss of the season, and the winless Raiders travel to Miami to battle the undefeated Dolphins. Come join all of us for the Visa Halftime.
All right, Kurt, look forward to that. 3 touchdowns, 252 passing yards for Mahomes here in the first half. And the Niners going to put it in the air. Crossing pattern catch made by Kendrick Bourne. And he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 49ers have all 3 timeouts left and will spend one here.
That time the timing was perfect between Garoppolo and Bourne, establishing his identity.
Well, you know, Chris, we talked so much coming into this game about what the Chiefs had done on offense, averaging 40 points per game, all the passing yards, a touchdown by Mahomes. To see it in person is even more impressive.
Well, here's the thing, too. I mean, I'm a big believer you play as you practice. We were out of practice the other day, Tom. The whole practice, it was walkthrough, 7-on-7, team offense, team defense. The ball never hit the ground. And it wasn't even close. They didn't even have to work to catch a ball, and that's the efficiency that they practice, and guess what? It carries over the game. That never changes, no matter what level.
It has been incredible to watch. Incredible to watch. But the 49ers are thinking about some points here before the half. That's Taylor. Taylor had a nice rookie year for this team. He's been quiet to begin this year. Had 4 receptions in week 1, did not have a single catch last week. He's battling through some back problems. Talked about the 10 touchdowns coming in, all the different receivers. They've had the ball 5 times, scored 5 touchdowns. Bullet scrambling in the back of the end zone to Conley.
And it's not like quick screens, right, Tom? They're chunk plays. There's like tons of chunk plays. I feel like I'm watching him back at Texas Tech playing a Big 12 defense, which is optional apparently in that conference.
Kettle able to shake off a tackler, and the big tight end out of the University of Iowa is inside the 25-yard line. Ran right through Orlando Scandrick. Kittle is a very solid player in his second year.
And only getting better. He had to drop early, but Jimmy G trusts George Kittle, and this is what I like. This is effort. This is fighting all the way to the end. Just get off me, basically. And he hustles down. Look at that. Good hit by Scandrick. But George Kittle showing his upper body strength and fighting and clawing to keep the 49ers drive alive in hopes for some points before they head into the half. Nice job by Jimmy G and his 49er offense to counter.
Well, that was their final timeout, so they probably take a shot in the end zone, and if they don't get it, depending on how much time, they send out Robbie Gould to try and get at least 3. They go to the sideline. Juszczyk steps out of bounds. Or you have 9 seconds left, which gives you a chance, theoretically anyway, to take that shot. But it can't be caught outside the end zone unless somebody's wide open.
Here's Kyle Shanahan's big rules, right? You don't take a sack under 2 minutes. You don't take a sack in the red zone. It has to be, as you mentioned, wide open or throw it away or just get rid of it. But number 1 rule, no sack. In this situation, because we're both in red zone and 2 minutes, you want to get points on the board before you walk off.
I have to get rid of it quickly here. Garoppolo will just take the easy catch to Juszczyk, which will set up, one would assume, the field goal try, and out comes Robbie Gould.
Yeah,
that's a nice job by the 49ers.
Absolutely, and a good read by Jimmy Garoppolo. The Chiefs were very smart and patient, took away Marquise Goodwin, running down the sidelines, had 3 guys on him. They understood the situation and knew that Jimmy G had to check it down.
This will be a 39-yard attempt. Gould has made a franchise record 29 consecutive field goals, trying to make it 30 here. And he will. One of the best in the history of the game is Robbie Gould on the final play of the first half. 35-10, and the Chiefs will get the ball to begin the second half. Play of the first half brought to you by Swiffer. So many to choose from with this Kansas City offense. Forced out of the pocket, went one way, did Mahomes, came back the other way, and a dart to Conley in the back of the end zone. One of 3 touchdown passes and scoring touchdowns on each of its 5 possessions of the first half. Coming back on the other side, that looks like Richard Sherman they're helping off. 35-10. Into the end zone. 3 straight games. Kansas City a touchdown on its opening possession. Wide open is Juszczyk, and he will find the end zone. He's in trouble. Now gets it away. Are you kidding me? That was today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. Set to begin the third quarter. It's sold out Arrowhead Stadium. A lot of fans getting out of that bright sunshine after watching this offense roll up nearly 300 total yards. scoring on each of its 5 possessions a touchdown for the 35-10 lead, and the Chiefs get the ball back to begin the second half, and we check in with Peter.
Tom, let's start with the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan said, we just got to get something going here. We got to coach better, play better. Also, Richard Sherman came out of the tunnel. His gloves were off. It's a calf injury. It's a questionable return. And then Andy Reid. I mean, after a half like that, what does Andy Reid have to say? He says 4 words. He says, pedal down, hammer down. Let's keep it going.
It's not the Chiefs' job to stop the Chiefs. They're going to try to get as many points as they can. Remember, they let the Chargers back in it. The Steelers came back into it after being down big.
So the 13 touchdowns and just 25 interceptions so far this season, or incompletions, I beg your pardon. He hits a deck on a first down throw that's caught by Kelce, and he barely gets beyond the line of scrimmage. The last 25 years, and we're trying to dig back further than that, this is the first time the Kansas City Chiefs have ever scored 5 touchdowns on their first 5 possessions of a game.
Just have rhythm. They understand. The players buy in.
And it to Kareem Hunt. Slips a tackle from Foster, but only picks up a couple of yards. So an early 3rd down chance now for the 49er defense.
Well, this is what Robert Saleh was trying to tell us, that you have to win on 1st and 2nd down against these guys, or you have 0 chance. He's got a manageable 3rd down situation, and the difference is that you get a regular NFL offense, something you get used to seeing week in and week out. With their 1st and 2nd down offense, the Chiefs are running reverses, jet sweeps, Kareem Hunt, all over the place.
51's down real. 51's down real. Here we go, 16.
4 of 5 on 3rd down conversions, the Chiefs, and make it 5 out of 6. Kelce, the favorite target today, his 7th reception, and that puts him over 100 yards for Kelce. He had 109 receiving yards a week ago against the Steelers.
So when you play zone defense, you can't cover dirt. You have to convert zone to man. You see, everybody's eyes are back to the quarterback. You can drop in zone, identify receivers, and you jump man. That's the difference. And right now, they're just trying to drop areas, and it's too easy for a guy like Travis Kelce to find a hole and sit in. You have to jump him as a defender. Convert zone to man in those situations.
Going to throw it again. And just throws it away.
And I think Tyreek Hill quit on his route. Patrick Mahomes is looking for him to launch it, and Tyreek slowed down. Didn't think Patrick was looking his way. Watch Tyreek Hill right here. He's going to come in here, and he's going to shut her down. Shutting down, Tom, because he doesn't think he's coming his way. Now watch. Right there, he's off the ball good, and right here, off the gas. See that? Patrick Mahomes was looking to him, or Tyreek with that safety over the top could break that route off, and Holmes has the laser to get it there.
Set up the screen, and it's caught by Marcus Kemp. First time we've called his name today. And we've called the name Carissa Thompson a number of times today, and why not one more time, Carissa?
I know, I'm sure your viewers are annoyed, but here's an update. If you're a Falcons fan, you're happy, because a couple weeks ago we were talking about their red zone issues. Seem to be solved over the last 2 weeks. Matt Ryan connecting with Calvin Ridley for the 3rd time today. They are up 21-16. Tom?
Didn't even know Ridley was on the field that first game. Now all of a sudden letting everybody know he'll be around.
Yeah, what a compliment to Julio Jones. Wow. Tough matchups. This guy in control of his offense right there, mentally getting them in a position to make a play.
False start looked like on Schwartz.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Remains
Mitchell
3rd down.
Schwartz, his 99th consecutive game. Not missed a snap.
He came over from Cleveland. Andy Reid likes him. He's solid. Not a great player, but I'll tell you, he's reliable. You can count on him, and he'll fight you to the death out there.
Well, hey, you know, one of the biggest parts about ability is reliability, dependability. And Schwartz is there to answer the bell.
Hey, Mike 56, Larry. Hey, watch him, Mike 56, Larry. Hey, 35. Come on, 80. Nice high.
The 49ers have done it again. And that pass is broken up. But it looks like a penalty against Marsh. So and that would take it from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 3 again.
Defense number 54 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty and repeat, 3rd down.
So that's my 3rd time that I've counted where the 49ers have jumped the count. That's a veteran move by Patrick Mahomes because there's only one person in charge of the cadence. And when they decide to go and when they go, that decision is made in the huddle by that quarterback. It's a good use of changing up the cadence by that guy.
Belly. Hey, Liz. 35.
So 3rd down and 3. And dropped by Demetrius Harris. So the string of 5 possessions in a row with a touchdown comes to an end. It's opening possession for Kansas City on the 2nd half.
Rare drop by a Kansas City Chief player. Ball's perfectly placed. Good defensive stand, and the least known player, the Kansas City Chiefs punter, is in the ball game now, Tom.
And his name is Dustin Colquitt. He's been here for 14 years, by the way. He's been in witness protection these first couple of weeks of the year. His first punt to the 12. So, hey, Robert Saleh, he's excited. His defense with a stop to begin the 2nd half. Downtown Kansas City, looking from the Scout statue. This is a beautiful town. Love coming here. They have the Arrowhead Stadium, and then right next door they have Kauffman Stadium. You see great news here. Matt Breida left what looked like a very bad knee injury in the first half, and he's able to get back out there to begin the 2nd half. Garoppolo, a dart to Garcon, and he lunges forward. Powerful running by the 11-year veteran out of Mount Union, Ohio. And that will be a 49ers 1st down.
You're going to see the 49ers right now go. Probably should start maybe a little bit up-tempo, in and out of that huddle. Not quite the 2-minute speed or the 4-minute drill, but you want to get in and get out. Give yourself a chance. You need a lot of possessions to get back in this ball game.
It's 130 consecutive games with a catch for Garcon. 3rd longest active streak to Larry Fitzgerald and Brandon Marshall. Fitzgerald going for 214 later. Wide open, and Garoppolo missed him. Wide open.
So that's the thing, right? I mean, you pay Jimmy Garoppolo to make this throw. Garcon's going to come in, sneak through, runs past the linebackers, and Garoppolo misses. I mean, you're paying a lot of money for the guy to make that throw on a wide open throw. That's not one he has to throw him open. He's got to put it in the bucket. That's the type of play that Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to make.
Fumbles a snap, able to shove it ahead to Breida. Big yardage for Breida. And he's run out of bounds close to midfield. They'll spot it at the 45-yard line. That'll move the chains for the 49ers. Great to see Breida back out there.
Absolutely, and this is a great job by Kendrick Bourne. Watch him on his block right here on D Ford, forcing him inside. No holding, nothing in the back, just trusting his athletic ability to put himself in position to make Ford unavailable for the play. That's smart football, and that's something that does not get enough credit. You don't need to kill guys all the time. Just use your athletic ability and body. Exactly what Bourne did.
It's already the 5th run this season at 20 yards or more for Breida. Play action, and a dangerous throw there. It's incomplete to Kittle, and step for step in coverage with him was Eric Murray, the safety. 2nd down.
You know when play action works? When you're not down 25, right? So the Chiefs understand this. They're willing to give up yards on the ground. They will not, or should not, I should say, get beat with anything over the top.
Long way to go in this one. 49ers, a 2nd and 10 from their own 45-yard line. That's Goodwin in motion. They pitch it to Breida. And again, big running room for Breida. That'll be his 6th run this season of 20 or more yards. And they go behind the big right tackle out of Notre Dame, Mike McGlinchey.
Well, everything is set up by Goodwin coming here, because then it slows anything down from the backside and linebackers' pursuit, because you have to honor Marquise Goodwin. See that? It slows everybody down. And number 48 for the Kansas City Chiefs, Terrence Smith, is late to the party. He's the one that has to get over there and make that play. That fake to Goodwin slows everybody down just a tad.
Able to get it away to Kittle, wide open and lots of running room. And he bangs his way inside the 10. Love that running from George Kittle. Ran right over Steven Nelson.
Good adjustment by Jimmy Garoppolo, throwing it underneath D Ford. And Kittle, you know, he's a 4.52 guy coming out of Iowa, turning into a running back. Patrick Nelson, number 20. You got to wrap up, guy. You can't. You either go down or you take his knees. If you go high and do nothing, he's going to run right through you like you're not even there. Either take the knees or wrap him up. 1 to 2. Bumping him off is not good enough.
Or run.
All right. Yeah. Go.
Or run.
That's not an option, my friend. Got Goodwin.
Oh, wide open. And this will be a touchdown for Goodwin. And what an impressive start to this 3rd quarter for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers, they're right back in this game.
Well, it's all confused. The Chiefs secondary was so confused on this, because you're going to see Goodwin run across here, but you're going to see 5 guys jump people over on this side of the screen, which allows Goodwin to go. He's untouched. You have to account for them, and if you're playing zone, there's no way you should make that mistake.
Goodwin last year had 56 catches for nearly 1,000 yards. He got hurt in the first half, week 1 this year. That's off the upright, but still, no good. Well, what in the world happened there? You never see Robbie Gould miss a kick. But Goodwin, healthy again, his first touchdown. Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. So calm earlier this morning and filling up right now for their home opener. Goodwin, his first touchdown catch of this season. The Niners go 87 yards, 7 plays, only took 2.5 minutes to do it.
How they do it? It's a mental bust by the Chiefs. Right here's Goodwin. He's going to work his a crossing route. These guys are going to come and throw picks, and there's confusion in the back end. Now watch, all the guys will jump George Kittle on all the crossing routes. Freeze it right there, boys. Look at this. 4 guys, 3 guys covering 1. Here comes Goodwin all alone. I'll tell you who they miss, and he will stabilize some things when he gets back, is Eric Berry, the all-pro safety. He will stabilize and line people up so that mistake may not happen if he's in the ball game.
Yeah, they got to be very concerned about Berry, though. He was injured last year, and now it's his other heel, foot. There's a loss on first down on the pitch to Hunt. Let's send it to Carissa Thompson.
Speaking of injuries, we know Aaron Rodgers isn't 100%. His team was down by as much as 18 in the first half, but went to work here connecting with Devontae Adams for that 2-yard score. Still trailing, Redskins up 28-17. Tom?
Have an injured player out on the field. Maybe just some cramping, you hope. Looks like Jimmy Ward. So while they tend to him, we'll step out. 35-16 KC in the 3rd.
You see Eric Berry coaching him up. Can't contribute physically, but he can also be a big factor in helping young guys in the secondary, so mental busts do not happen.
Bunch formation at the top of your screen, and Mahomes flushed out, throws low, and the 49ers, at least here to begin this second half, are starting to put a little more pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and they're a 3rd down stop away from getting good field position to draw even closer here in the 3rd.
Yeah, they're doing a good job rotating their D-line, getting fresh pass rushers in there, able to create that pressure. And don't forget, they're young in the secondary now. Richard Sherman, their leader, is out, and here we go, that prevent defense where they back it up to the sticks. Put 4 on the line of scrimmage, 7 at the sticks.
Well, the last time we saw this,
right there, you see it. Good look right there.
Kansas City had a big gain and wound up going for it on 4th down and a yard. Now Mahomes rolling, throws on the run, And that looked like it was out of bounds, incomplete. So 3 and out. 49ers defense did not stop Mahomes and company on 5 possessions in the opening half. Here in the third quarter, the Chiefs are 0 for 2.
Yeah, it's a great effort by the 49ers. Everybody talks about maybe Robert Saleh made halftime adjustments. I don't believe in halftime adjustments. You know why? Because adjustments are made after every single series. There's no halftime adjustments. It's just guys settle in and are getting used to the speed, maybe a little bit, of this Chiefs offense.
Colquitt puts a foot on it. And this appears to be returnable for Dante Pettis. We've not called his name all day long today. And Pettis turning the corner and steps out of bounds at the 45. A flag did come in back where he fielded the punt. Pettis does not have a single reception in the game today, and they're expecting big things out of him.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 47. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That'll be on Elijah Lee. All right, college game coming up Saturday. Doubleheader on Fox. The Wolverines go to Evanston to battle Northwestern. And then BYU, after that shocking win against Wisconsin, will take on the Huskies. It all kicks off Saturday at 4 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Harbaugh's got that Michigan men rolling on offense. Lead the nation in average offensive per play yardage. Watch out.
They have an L. And on first down, Alfred Morris carries up close to the 30-yard line.
Don't forget that the San Francisco 49ers last year led the league in snaps per play, 25 seconds. So they get it off. So they're used to operating at a high tempo. They're very comfortable in that zone.
And it's to Morris again, read beautifully this time. Derek Nottie, the rookie out of Florida State, 3rd-round pick, the first one there to slow him down.
And Reggie Ragland finished him off. I would keep my eyes on Kittle, right? 3rd downs. Jimmy G in the first 2 games, at least the scouting report, in these type of situations, he likes 85 if he can create the matchup that he wants. He trusts 85, he trusts Garcon.
Kittle has 3 catches, Garcon with a couple of catches, and
there's both of them
with 3. 1 of 6 on 3rd down, penalty flag, and sacked all the way back to the 15 by D. Ford is Garoppolo, but 49ers are pointing at Kansas City.
I think they got him to jump. Good use of cadence by Jimmy G. Hard counted him.
Offside, defense number 95 in the neutral zone at the snap. This 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
That's Chris Jones.
Now this is every time. I think that's Chris Jones right there. Yep, he got him. Good job of changing it up for Garoppolo. Anytime you're in a defensive huddle, anytime it's 3rd and 5 or less, when I would call a play, automatic, everybody up front, hard count, every single time. It just gets them alert, but you don't want them to slow down. You just want them to be alert so you don't give them a freebie.
All right, ball the 32-yard line, an automatic first down for the 49ers, and Garoppolo back to throw it, good protection. And nowhere close to the intended receiver, Trent Taylor. Good coverage out there by Steven Nelson.
Nice job by Alfred Morris. Looked like Justin Houston was coming around. Alfred Morris allowed Jimmy Garoppolo time to at least get that ball off. But he one-hops it. Watch Morris right here. This is a great adjustment. This is guys that you have to be able to trust. Checking for a blitz, nothing there. Sees his guy get beat, is able to step up and keep Justin Houston from getting to the quarterback. Well done, Alfred.
Second down, Morris found a little daylight, slips through a couple of would-be tacklers up to the 37-yard line, close to the 38. It'll bring up another 3rd down for the 49ers, who need to get points and get them in a hurry as we close in on 6:10 to go in the 3rd.
You've got to be concerned of Dee Ford. He's got a little bit of jump in his get off today. He likes to work the inside, strong inside move.
Blitz coming. Garoppolo gets it away and hits Kittle for a first down to the 45-yard line. Beautifully done by Jimmy Garoppolo. He took a lick from Anthony Hitchens, but delivered the goods.
Well, first of all, we talked about him trusting Kittle, number 85. And he throws to a spot. Now, quarterbacks oftentimes, when they're under pressure, through practice, through preparation, through film study, are going to throw a certain number of yards down the field to a certain spot, trusting that your guy will get there. Great timing between Kittle and Garoppolo. Execution.
4 receptions, 71 receiving yards for Kittle. And back to the ground. They'll give it to Alfred Morris, still on his feet, to the Kansas City 28-yard line. Excellent running by Alfred Morris. And let's send it down to Los Angeles to Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Falcons and Saints keep going back and forth, and right now it's the Saints on top. Good movement in the pocket by Drew Brees before hooking up with Cameron Meredith for an 11-yard score. And right now, it's another close one, 23-21. They send it back to San Francisco and Kansas City. Tom Brenneman, Chris Spielman, and Peter Schrager.
All righty, Kurt Menefee.
How about this
down and 10?
Chiefs defense, right? This is the same thing we've seen in 2 weeks. Second half struggles.
Morris. Well, I tell you, he still really looks good. Was signed very late after the injury to McKinnon. 2-time Pro Bowl rusher, 3 times, carried for 1,000 yards in Washington.
This is why, Tom. Watch this double team, then getting to the second level. This is beautifully done by Persons, number 68. Watch him double the nose. Come up to the, oh, that's Juszczyk coming. I apologize. They get the nose out of there. Juszczyk coming around using his athletic ability to screen off Reggie Ragland. Reggie Ragland, step up. Don't wait for a blocker. Go meet the blocker.
Morris getting the football and has another first down to the Kansas City 15-yard line. I mean, look, as much as we talked about Kansas City's offense, let's not forget about Kansas City's defense. Now, Bob Sutton, their defensive coordinator, says, look, I know we got some problems, but we're getting better and we're going to get even better. But the numbers don't lie. They gave up over 1,000 yards in offense over the first 2 weeks of the season. And Garoppolo just throws that one away. Excellent coverage there by Ragland with Juszczyk.
They certainly know they have to get better, and I do think they do miss Eric Berry, as we talked about. But he talked to us yesterday. The number one thing he's concerned about is scoring defense, which are 29th in the league at 32.5 points, but they're letting teams back in it. And when you're a championship team, your defense, when you have somebody down, you're able to drive it home, drive that stake, as they say. They've got to answer.
That was a huge miss on an extra point. We'll see if that plays into this game. Niners need to get closer for that to matter at all. Now Garoppolo rolling, throws a bullet. What a beautiful throw to Breida inside the 5. First and goal. This is the best we've seen Garoppolo look through the first 3 weeks of this year.
Yeah, he's starting to get into his rhythm. We talk about play callers getting into rhythm, and Breida does a good job as a running back, working back toward his scrambling quarterback to make it a shorter throw so the defender can't close. Dee Ford took a shot inside, gave up that edge, allowed the short corner for Garoppolo to create a throwing lane.
They give it to Morris, and he will get into the end zone for a touchdown. So here we have 2:43 to go, and all of a sudden the 49ers are saying not so fast. Of course, they'll review every scoring play to make sure Morris got in.
Good surge by the 49er offensive line. And on the goal line, as a defender, Fuller cannot go low. Anytime you go low on the goal line, I saw it on Thursday night when the Browns game, if you go low, down on the goal line, the offensive back automatically goes over the top. You're giving away a possible touchdown on that.
They have confirmed the call.
McGlinchey did a great job, by the way. I want to point out offensive linemen, they do well. He did a great job of taking out Hitchens, creating that hole.
So now they go for the two-point conversion to try to draw within 11. Fake it, inside pitch to Kittle, and he will get in for the two-point try conversion. Well, boys and girls, we have a ball game. It was 35-7 at one point in time, and the Niners are roaring back with more than a quarter to play at Arrowhead Stadium. Let's look at these last two 49er drives. They go 7 plays, 87 yards, and now 11 plays, 77 yards. The touchdown run by Morris. And all of a sudden, the 49ers are a touchdown, a two-point conversion, and a field goal away from tying this game with more than a quarter left to go. So now Andy Reid and his play calling ability trying to get this offense back on track for Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, it's extremely fun. I mean, first off, you're comfortable with every situation. I mean, he explains everything so well that, you know, versus any single coverage or any single play, you have an answer. And I mean, that's so important because you don't want to be out there handcuffed. And so having him and then the special plays that he draws up, they always hit.
Well, they need to find a way to get back on the same page here to begin the second half if they want to try and put away these hard-charging San Francisco 49ers. Chiefs scored touchdowns on their first 5 possessions. They have not scored points on their 2 possessions this half, Peter Schrager.
And Tom, you know, it's one thing when you're the toast of the town and the 2-time AFC Offensive Player of the Week, but what Andy Reid said was he thinks Mahomes is ready for the adversity too, and that's going to be a big test right now. There's 2 straight scores for the Niners. He thinks that Mahomes can do it, and he said he's the guy that can go into Eric Berry's face, can go into Justin Houston's face, and he can talk to them as equals and peers, not as some veterans he's scared of. This team rallies around Patrick Mahomes. He is their leader. Let's see if he can answer here.
Slipping a tackle behind the line of scrimmage is Hunt and turns a loss into a first down up to the 40-yard line. Armstead was there but couldn't bring him down.
Now, just a point on the leadership of Patrick Mahomes is this. You can't be a leader by sitting there yelling and screaming at guys. That doesn't work. You only can lead by understanding each individual on your team. And here's the #1 rule. You can't say anything unless you produce. And so far early in his career and early on this season and so far this game, Patrick Mahomes has produced.
There's no question about that. 13 touchdowns in the first 2 games in nearly 3 quarters. They fake it to Hunt and a misread there and a flag comes in. And Ahkello Witherspoon is just beside himself. I mean, there wasn't a receiver within 20 yards of where that pass was thrown incomplete.
Because I think Witherspoon was holding them.
Defense, number 23.
They try a slant go.
And an automatic first down.
So we see this all over the NFL now, right? It's an RPO. Here's the hold by Witherspoon. Grabbing the jersey. That's a hold. That's what it is. Every time you grab the jersey, they're going to call you. But that's the RPO they try to get, and Robert Saleh does a great job to defend the RPO. They're always attacking away from the 3-receiver side to the single side. So one way teams are defending the RPO is they're zoning the 3-receiver side, and Witherspoon is manning up on the downside to take that quick slant away.
So an automatic first down up to the 44-yard line. Quick throw to Watkins. And he's able to escape Witherspoon and get another first down to the 41-yard line.
I love going after Witherspoon. Remember last week he had back-to-back holding calls. Sammy Watkins is also a burner. He's going to get Witherspoon to bail. Now, an advantage to having a rifle for an arm, this ball gets here in a hurry. So Watkins can make the transition from catch to run smoothly because it's right in his hands, and plus it's coming in there about 95 miles per hour. You can get him to close for the Reds next year if he's not busy.
Well, they need some help. I think the Royals might take him too, the Giants for that matter. Mahomes finds Kelsey, the big tight end. Let's check in once more with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Clay Matthews, 3rd straight week. A sack that looked like it was good was called for roughing the passer. This time on Alex Smith. We're all scratching our heads on this one. I'm sure Clay Matthews is as well. He kept the Washington drive alive. You can see the Packers are ticked off, and they're down by 11 in the fourth quarter. Tom?
I don't know what he'd tell a guy. I mean, it's very difficult. I understand Clay's frustration. He put his head on the side. That's what you're supposed to do. Can't come down on body weight.
Quick hitter again to Watkins. And he's tripped up but has another first down to the 23-yard line on what will be the final play of the third quarter. A quarter completely and thoroughly dominated by the visiting 49ers. But after falling behind 35-7, we go to the fourth quarter, 35-24 Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, a monster first half, throwing 3 touchdowns and leading the Chiefs on 5 consecutive touchdown scoring drives. They were shut out by the 49ers defensively, and San Francisco puts up 14 to make it an 11-point game. But right now, Mahomes has them on the move. They give it to Kareem Hunt. And not much there, maybe 3. Second down coming up.
It's a nice job by Reuben Foster, who I think's down on this play, but this is what the 49ers missed the first 2 weeks, is his ability to make contact. Hopefully he'll be okay.
And while they take a look at him, we'll be back right after this message. Let's see if we can pick up what happened here.
So watch, Reuben Foster does a great job of flowing from the backside to get a hit. Now there's going to be a second defender because Kareem Hunt is so powerful running forward. You see Reed, number 32, come in, which bends both guys backwards. And Reuben's such a physical ball player. You hate seeing anything like this. And there's the hit. And you see that he had a little problem, I think, with a lower body issue, but you know, he's such a great player. He says such a bright future. He's the leader of that defense. He brings energy, and that's a tough deal if this is a serious injury. You hope it's not. I hate to see anybody hurt on the football field.
Yeah, and you hate to see it, but as you're watching that replay, it wasn't one of those gruesome sort of, you know, we saw the knee or saw the shin or saw the leg twisted, but who knows? It doesn't take much when you're dealing with this kind of power and this kind of strength. Well, this Reuben Foster's first game back after being suspended the first 2 games of the season. He doesn't look like anything's wrong with him at all. He was down on the field for quite some time. We hope that is the case.
Watch Travis Kelce in this part of the field. Big red zone target for Patrick Mahomes.
Fake it to Hunt.
There he is.
And there is Kelce. And he is run out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. First and goal. There is a penalty flag down at the end of the play. It could be going against DJ Reed.
I mean, you got to have the scouting report, and you have to understand, if you're responsible for Travis Kelce, your eyes must stay on Travis Kelce. Number 48, Fred Warner, loses Travis Kelce because he's looking back at the quarterback.
Both teams that will cause them to offset and replay the down. Holding, offense, number 76. Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense. By rule, these penalties will offset and replay second down.
And this is a young rookie mistake that he won't make again, because he's going to know that in the red zone, here is the guy they're trying to get the ball with a pick by Sammy Watkins. Watch Fred Warner's eyes will look here, and he'll lose sight of Travis Kelce coming across. See that? He's looking back at the quarterback and saying, oh no, I got him. Almost had him. That's where you attack. I mean, Kelce's the guy.
Hey, my 38, stay at 56. Hey, 15, 15.
Kelce, 8 catches for 114 yards. He does not have a touchdown today. And the throw is incomplete. It'll bring up third down. That's an update on an injury. How about it, Peter Schrager?
Well, you see Reuben Foster on the field. Guys, he just had the wind knocked out of him. He was on the next play, back playing the linebacker position. But Adrian Colbert, the safety, he's questionable with a hip, and Richard Sherman with a calf, also questionable. They're down a lot of men right now, but they got their guy, 56, back on the field.
And I'll tell you what, they're playing very well here in the second half. You got to give them a lot of credit. And Robert Saleh, their defensive coordinator, and the players themselves, I mean, they were getting run over by a locomotive in the first half of this game, giving up 35 points, touchdowns on each of the 5 Kansas City drives, and now a timeout going to be called. And, you know, if you're the 49ers, you're saying, okay, obviously have to hold them to a field goal here, a big 3rd down coming up. And that would make it a 38-24 game. And at that point in time, partner, you're 14 down with basically probably 11, 12 minutes to go in the game. And who knows what happens the way they're moving the ball.
Well, first of all, the 49ers responded like pros. Their pride, and they took a lot of pride in how they came out and they answered the bell. The offenses responded, and we know from our watching the first 2 weeks that the Chiefs defense can give up points and give up points in a hurry.
Yes.
So I guarantee you in the locker room, that's what Kyle Shanahan's telling them, guys, we can come back with this against this team. And the defense has stepped up. And I got a little thing where Patrick Mahomes has a little bit of a problem and a struggle with. I'll hit on it in a second.
All righty, he's in trouble, being chased and missing the stop, giving him extra time. He took a huge hit and overthrows. He got sandwiched. And it looks like Solomon Thomas, who is chasing him from behind, is injured. He is down on the field. Thomas and Buckner converging to try and hit Mahomes. The one diving is Thomas, who's hurt.
It's a great effort by Solomon Thomas off the backside, and Patrick Mahomes bounces up after being made a D-line sandwich between Buckner and Thomas. A great effort by Thomas, though. Guy that's taken some criticism, and I think he's a guy that's getting better and better every week. Last week I thought he played really well against the Lions, and it's good to see him pop up. But the effort and speed that he brings off the edge, that's a Solomon Thomas. They drafted 3 overall.
Well, you know, it should be noted, I think a lot of people felt like, including some in the 49ers front office, that they were going to entice Kirk Cousins to come to San Francisco at the end of last year. Then they wound up making the D for Garoppolo. I mean, they could have chosen a year ago when this group took over. They could have taken Patrick Mahomes with that pick in the draft rather than Thomas or anybody else. All right, 37-yard field goal try. And that one is good by Harrison Butker. He's only attempted 2 field goals all year long because all they do is score touchdowns. So that'll make it 38-24. Many of you know the story. Mahomes has been around sports his entire life. His father, Pat, a major league pitcher for many, many years in the big leagues. He was a 3-sport star in Texas. Football field, basketball, baseball. White House High School in White House, Texas.
He was talking to us, and you know, he used to be on the game and you know this because you cover baseball, but pre-game he's out there taking pictures with A-Rod and Jeter. And actually, you know, that prepares him because the spotlight's not too big for him because he thinks that's normal, right? He thought everybody can go out and get a picture with Jeter and A-Rod.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we still have a long way to go. Nearly an entire quarter left. And the 49ers touchdown drives their last 2 possessions, trailed by 2 touchdowns. And let's check in once more with Peter Schrager.
Tom, following up on what Chris was saying, this is a kid who in 1999 and 2000 was 5-6 years old, sitting on the lap of Ricky Henderson and Mike Piazza with the Mets, who were going to the World Series. Then he goes to the Rangers, his dad, and sure enough, Rafael Palmeiro and Alex Rodriguez. You laugh about it. Obviously, the genes are there when your dad's a pro baseball player, but the poise and the maturity and the ability to understand success, it's carried him all the way through. He attributes a lot of that to growing up in major league clubhouses.
Not surprised by that police bill. Alfred Morris having a big second half, and that'll be a gain of 9, tripped up by Hitchens. Morris having a good day.
Mike Persons hurt on the play. Did a great job of pulling, opening up the hole, and he's as tough as they come. Kyle Shanahan raves about the toughness of Mike Persons, and he just had to take a knee.
Well, remember, he was injured in week 1 along with Garnett as backup. Person injuring his foot, but he came back to answer the bell last week.
And here he is. Watch him get around and pull and open up a hole. with a kick-out block. It gets cut from behind, and I saw him pound the ground, and you know, he's as tough as they get. And he hates coming out of the game if he has to come out of the game, but he's as tough as they get.
8th year out of Montana State. Morris 8 carries here in the second half for 49 yards. And now it's Breida. Or I beg your pardon, it's Morris again up to the 40-yard line.
Well, Kyle will ride the hot hand. Remember,
why not?
Yeah, he had 2 running backs down in Atlanta that he used, and guys very well. And so he's not going to be, you know, people complain about, well, get Breida the ball, but if he's got a hot hand and Alfred Morris is hot right now, you ride it. Ride the horse. Just like Susie rides War Paint. The rider for the Chiefs horse.
Morris again. And bottled up at the 44-yard line. It'll bring up a second down play.
There they go. No huddle, hurry up. And again, they're very comfortable operating at this tempo. They've been doing it since the start of the second half.
Garoppolo to throw it. And the catch is made by Selleck. Garrett Selleck, the tight end, along with Kittle. Well, he's had a very good career as Garrett Selleck.
Solid, dependable vet. Here comes Breida in for Morris to give him a blow.
Under 12 minutes to go.
I know people hate this, but if you're the Chiefs, #1 rule, nothing over the top.
First down, they hand it to Breida. And he's inside the 50, down to the 45, close to the 44, a gain of 5, maybe 6, depending on the spot. And I'm sure a lot of 49ers fans are saying, man, we got to start putting the ball up in the air. Still 11:30 to go in this game.
No, I think you're fine right now. You can still run your offense. And again, they led the league last year in from the end of the play to the next snap with 25 seconds. So that's what we're talking about. They're good with tempo, but eventually he's setting something up off of a play action. I got a feeling it's coming right here.
Throw is Goodwin, and that is a first down to the 39-yard line.
By formation, he's setting something up off of play action. We saw so many running plays from the I formation. So when you get an I right away in your mind as a defender, they're going to run the ball again. So you can run play action without actually running play action. Just because it's an I formation, just a quick little drop in the timing between Goodwin and Garoppolo's there. Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo likes to have Marquise Goodwin back in his lineup?
Under 11 to go, they turned and handed to Alfred Morris again, and he'll pick up close to 4 to the 35-yard line. 2 touchdowns, a pair of conversions. The difference in this one is we close in on 10.5 and now under 10.5 to go.
Now what happens once they get in the red zone, if they do get in the red zone, that's when you'll see Bob Sutton, or something that I would do if I were a defensive coordinator. That's when I start bringing pressures. Get him out of his comfort zone because of the shortness of the field.
Slip it to Kittle, and that'll be a first down to the 27-yard line, and we go to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. So the Eagles were trailing 16-13 in the fourth when Wendell Smallwood takes it in from 4 yards out for this score. Eagles lead 20-16, but the Colts are driving with under 3 left to go in this one. Tom?
All righty, Carissa, thank you. Mike Person, you talk about tough. Chris just said it. He's back in the game. And Breida for maybe a yard. Down to the 25-yard line.
Now you start getting inside the 20. That's when you start bringing pressure, because you know by the nature of the field, you're bringing in a 12th man as a defender. The end line of the goal line, or the end zone, is the 12th man. And usually teams, when they start getting in this area, that's when you start taking a few chances on defense.
See what the 49ers gotten things turned around. And now Garoppolo to throw it. Screen to Raheem Mostert out of the backfield. 4th year back out of Purdue, and he's very close. Appears to be a yard short of a first down.
Nice job and good play calling. Kyle Shanahan, he talked to us last week about getting in rhythm. He's feeling his rhythm right now. They're in man-to-man. You run a screen. If you pick off the guy that's in charge of the running back, it's usually a good play. Reggie Ragland, nice job in open field.
Turn and hand it to Mostert. It looks like he's denied the first down. You saw him. Alfred Morris over on the sideline appeared to have been shaken up. And he's still sitting over on the sideline as the center, Richburg, is very slow to get up. Boy, the 49ers are burning a lot of time here.
Well, right here, any way you defend a short yardage play right now is penetration. D Ford does a nice job, and a really outstanding effort by number 94 for the Kansas City Chiefs, Jarvis Jenkins, splitting that gap and taking that blow.
And they're going to stop the clock. They'll start it back up in a minute, as he is that much short. So this is 4th down. Peter Schrager.
Tom, right now they're working on Alfred Morris's right ankle. It's perched up on a little stool. He doesn't seem like he's in incredible pain, but they're working on him quick. Obviously, depth an issue at running back for the 49ers.
Well, if Breida's healthy, you got to get Breida in the ball game.
Well, they're about to start the clock, and this is a 4th down.
Here we go. This is where you win championships. Everything can be defined by up front. In these type of situations, as Matt Breida looks on, maybe wishing he had the opportunity.
Boy, this is stunning. That you have Breida on the sideline, and Mostert, who's not played basically all year long, is in the backfield.
Work sneak. Good search.
Well, of course, each team's going to point the direction they want this move.
One of the things that you can look for in a quarterback sneak, there's a different look in the quarterback's eyes when he comes under center. Usually he'll look around and all that kind of stuff. When it's a quarterback sneak, he'll look straight ahead, and see his eyes are straight ahead. A lot of times when you're not quarterback sneaking, your eyes are looking and scanning a little bit to check out where the defense is and see if you're in the right play. See, his eyes and head never move. His eyes are down. That's a giveaway of a quarterback sneak. Sometimes as a defense, what do? You take a chance on that. You either pinch your defensive lineman, or as a linebacker, you go over the top as we see this close measurement.
All right, so that's a first down, and the clock is going to start. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan's raving about. Maybe he didn't think it should have been that close. The 49ers now got to start to pick it up a little bit. Yeah, don't you think?
Well,
I mean, they've had this ball since 11 and a half to go.
Here's the thing. I think you start taking shots in the end zone, and I think this defense needs to start getting aggressive and bringing some pressure. Do you trust your man-to-man coverage here and here?
Breida back into the game. And they give it to Juszczyk, who then pitches it to Breida. And one man to beat. And he's run out of bounds inside the 5. How about that? Pitch it to Juszczyk. And then he basically runs the option and gives it off to Breida.
Well, we talk about the creativity of Andy Reid. Here's the creativity of Kyle Shanahan. You see 44 Juszczyk right there. Good read on the option, getting Breida out in space. And that's why, you know, they understand what they're doing. They understand clock management and how they want to do it. Kyle Shanahan's very comfortable where he is on the clock and with those 3 timeouts left, plus a 2-minute warning.
7 minutes to go, and Garoppolo sacked, but there is a penalty. This could be a face mask. Or a hold, maybe.
That'll drive Shanahan crazy. Number 1 rule.
Holding, offense, number 68. Penalty is declined. Result to the play, 2nd down.
Don't get sacked in the red zone or in 2 minutes. Still have plenty of space to work with, but there's something statistically that really bothers him about that. See, Parsons is going to be the guy that's getting caught from the hold right here. Oh yeah, he got beat with a rip move. Had to hold him to protect his guy.
All right, 2nd down and goal from a 12. Stripped of the ball, and Person able to cover it up. That was Houston who stripped it away. And then covered up by the right guard, Person.
So something that was missing in the previous 2 games is a pass rush, and this guy, Justin Houston, Remember, not too long ago, he had 22 sacks working on the rookie, McGlinchey. What is it? Speed to power. You see him lower those shoulders, make it a short corner. Defensive linemen run a hula hoop as tight as they can to make that short corner. And Justin Houston, once he gets in the sights, is quick to finish. And I love the fact that he went for the football instead of the kill shot.
All right, 3rd down and goal. They need touchdowns, not field goals. So you got to believe this is 4-down territory here. Garoppolo escaping trouble. Running, and he will get all the way inside the 10 to the 7 before he is leveled by Steven Nelson. Well, there's some pushing and shoving going on after that hit on Garoppolo. That was a big hit.
Well, and Garoppolo should have went out of bounds. Instead, he's going to lower his shoulder, and he's going to actually initiate the contact with Nelson. Look, Jimmy's a fighter. Jimmy's tough. He's going to try to get extra yards with a cutback right here. And watch him. He goes right in to Nelson. And Nelson, almost to me, looks like he's almost pulling up so he doesn't get a late flag.
And he had already stepped out of bounds at Garoppolo. Of course, he didn't know that. The defender didn't know that. But you're right. Garoppolo then lowers his shoulder into the charging defender. And that's his throwing shoulder, the right shoulder.
Yeah, that's the thing you'd be concerned about. Look, fortunately, they're, well, for a quarterback only, doesn't look like they're checking up the arm of C.J. Beathard in the bullpen warming up.
It's not the right shoulder, it's a left knee they're looking at for Jimmy Garoppolo. But first things first, to have any chance to try and come back. This is 4th down and goal. C.J. Beathard played in 7 games, 5 starts a year ago. His first throw is a touchdown throw.
Wow.
And a flag in the back of the end zone. That is Kittle on the touchdown reception. What an unbelievable throw by Beathard.
Pass interference, offense.
Oh,
number 44.
It's coming back.
10-yard penalty.
And the 49ers have to be wondering, what in the world have we done to deserve 140 yards of penalties in this game?
Well, they're going to work right here. Juszczyk is going to push off on Anthony Hitchens. Now let's take a look how much of a push off it is. We circled him before the play because that was a target.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's I don't know about that because it's not a pick. He's working one-on-one. Kittle is, who's a big red zone target. And that's a really tough call. I mean, that's a really tough call. When I look at it again, I can see how he's running into him, but he's trying to run a route, but he does not pick the defender. That's a tough one. That is a tough one, Tom. I'd be upset if I were Kyle.
Well, with 5:21 left, he's going to kick a field goal. And that is good to make it 38-27. Garoppolo, the left knee. That's what they're concerned about. All right, so the 49ers decide on the field goal try to make it an 11-point game. Obviously looking for a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and then another field goal to try and tie this thing up. Let's see if they're going to try the onside kick here. No. They'll pop this one up in the air, and it's going to be DeAnthony Thomas to bring it out. And he's up to the 22. Let's check in with Dean Blandino, former head of officials. And Dean, we're sitting here watching that play and the pass interference penalty against Kyle Juszczyk. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, when you're teaching officials on this play, you're asking them to look at the body language of the receiver. Is he seeking out the defender? Is he initiating contact? Is he engaging in a block? Here, he's just running the route, and the defender actually grabs him. He's trying to get into his route. And this is not a pick play. This is a flag that really shouldn't have been called. It's tough in real time. But that's one that they really can't make that call in that situation.
Yeah, if you're Kyle Shanahan, you might want to say that they held my guy when you write your notes up. That's what I would say, Tom. I mean, you know, that's a tough call to make in that situation. That wasn't a pick play. It was Juszczyk doing his job, trying to get to a certain spot, because we talk about routes always being timing, right? He's trying to get to his spot. Hitchens is in good position, and they kind of make incidental contact. You got to let that go. Let the guys play. Keep the flag in the holster. And
naturally, the Chiefs are going to spend as much time as they so choose. Let that play clock probably run all the way down to 4, 3, 2 seconds. Now on down to 8.
go blue, Eddie.
Snap it at 4, and they'll hand it to Hunt. Hunt falls down. He has not fumbled since his first carry in the NFL. That was an opening weekend last year against New England. Peter Schrager.
Guys, Jimmy Garoppolo was just taken off on the cart. It's a left knee injury. He's holding it. Does not look good. He's going in. Just one note on the officiating there. Tony Correnti, the same official last week who made the Clay Matthews decision on the roughing the passer, will be a very discussed topic this week as well.
That's a tough call. Now, he didn't make the flag. It wasn't his call. But that's a tough call to make in that situation.
Yeah, it's his crew that made the call.
Yeah.
But he's the head man.
Yep.
As a referee, 3rd down and 11. And a throw is incomplete. And another flag comes in as Akello Witherspoon gets tied up with Sammy Watkins.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. The ball being placed at the spot of a foul and an automatic first down.
Well, he certainly has had his troubles. Number 23, Witherspoon. He's in such great position. He didn't need to have his hands. You saw the right hand was on the right shoulder of Watkins. You just got to trust it. And I think he's been struggling. I know it's a little ticky-tack, but you can't have 2 hands on the guy when the ball's in the air. That's the rules. I don't like it either. That's the rules.
It's 147 yards and penalties. That would have been a 3rd down stop. Instead, it's an automatic first down, and we check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. I want to let you know America's Game of the Week is coming up next. The Cowboys able to get their offense on track on Sunday night against the Giants. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are looking for some semblance of an offense. They haven't started 0-3, Tom, since 2002, hoping that changes today in Seattle.
That's a huge game there because you've kind of seen this coming for a while now. Cowboys coming off a win, beating the Giants. I mean, this has been a very odd game. The first half completely dominated by the Kansas City Chiefs. 35-7 at one point before a late field goal. But the second half completely dominated by the 49ers. But just when you think they're ready to make a play, it has been a penalty. And pretty much that's been all day long.
Yeah, you're talking about even in the second touchdown of the game, set up by a 60-yard interference penalty.
They had another drive early in the game where 51 yards of a 75-play drive came on penalties, including 3 of 5 first downs on a drive. 49ers will spend their second timeout. And this Thursday, we're very excited at Fox Sports. The new network home of Thursday Night Football. The Minnesota Vikings. Go figure. Your brother there, Rick Spielman, the general manager, has to be wondering what in the world happened today.
Well, I talked to them. They were concerned. And, coaches and general managers, those folks, they're all concerned when you're such a huge favorite. Then you have the Rams next week, so they overlooked the Bills. There's no doubt about it. The Bills put it on them. This is the NFL. You can never go to sleep on anybody. The best in the world at what they do. All these guys, coaches, cheerleaders, you name it. They're all the best.
And that'll be at the Coliseum in Los Angeles this Thursday night right here on Fox. 7:30 Eastern, our coverage gets underway. And that is Kareem Hunt for a first down, and that pretty much puts this thing on ice. Outside of a fumble, and we mentioned Hunt did not fumble one time during his entire college career. He fumbled his first NFL snap, and he's never fumbled since.
It's a great job of blocking. Kareem Hunt will protect the ball. Duvernay Tardif. That's how he pronounces it.
To say that all day long.
You've been
trying that. You've been working on your French over the weekend.
Yes, I have, and he does a good job of adjusting. Nobody to block, turns to his right, is able to cut off the backside
you have
defender.
to call him Doctor.
Doctor, yes, that's right.
He just earned his medical degree from McGill this year. He is the only known medical doctor to be an active player in the NFL. How about that?
Yeah, that's talented. I remember John Frank used to play for the 49ers.
Yes.
Became a doctor after his career.
An Ohio State Buckeyes, I recall, John Frank.
Yes, sir.
Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Crazy game in Atlanta, Tom. So the Saints were down by 7 when Drew Brees Looking, finds no one and thinks, you know what, I'm taking it myself after avoiding that tackle from 7 yards out. All tied up at 37. We will keep you posted on this one. There's under a minute left. Tom, Chris, and Peter.
I tell you, I'm not so sure there's a more exciting division that when they play divisional games in all of the NFL than the NFC South. There might be bigger names and sexier teams in other divisions, but when they play in that division, it seems like every game's like that.
Especially with Tampa off to the hot start that they're on.
Second down, bottled up at the line of scrimmage. And the clock will roll all the way down to the 2-minute warning. So the Kansas City Chiefs are going to go to 3-0. They won their first 2 games on the road in San Diego, and then they went to Pittsburgh and put up 42 on Mike Tomlin's team. They were the first team to open a season with back-to-back road wins. Hasn't been all that long with the Miami Dolphins. It's rare for anybody to start the season with 2 straight road games. But now you come back home, and you're about to go to 3-0, and the Niners are 2 minutes away from slipping to 1 up, 2 down. 2 minutes to go, 38-27, Kansas City in front. Our game produced by Mark Titleman, directed by Greg Scopatone. Our associate director is Alex Olson. Our broadcast associate, Ian Martin. Michael Nathanson, our technical producer. And our technical director is Dane Crawford. Graphics operator Christine Lee. Mike up here in the booth. Tom Barbary and Scott Snyder. That is a first down on a 3rd down carry by Hunt. And let's take a peek ahead to what's next. We begin with Kansas City. We'll go into next week, another divisional game. Second one to begin the year against a 2-1 Denver team. That'll be at Denver. So 3 of their first 4 and 4 of their first 6, including that trip to New England, on the road.
Well, they're a good road team, as proven, right? Because it takes offenses a while to get used to that man, Patrick Mahomes. One little thing, I think, where you can get Patrick Mahomes slowed down a little bit. He had a few issues today when he had to step up and climb into the pocket and his feet were in chaos. That's when he was inaccurate. Outside the pocket, tremendous. When he's able to sit back there without stepping up into the pocket, tremendous. The one issue where he struggled just a little bit, I'm just giving you a little scouting report, is when he has to climb up into the pocket and his feet get out of whack, then he's inaccurate with the football.
Well, and I think that's what you're going to see a lot of teams. They'll be studying that about what happened today in the second half of this game. The simple fact that Kansas City scored 3 points total after a 35-point opening stanza, and that will be the final play of the game. Patrick Mahomes sets an all-time NFL record. 13 touchdown passes through the first 3 games in a regular season, breaking the old mark of 12 held by Peyton Manning. And on the other side, the 49ers are deeply concerned. What is the health of their quarterback in the left knee of Jimmy Garoppolo after that scramble on their final series?
Yeah, I think that's obviously the big concern for Kyle Shanahan, excuse me. So he congratulates. The other thing is, one thing you can take away from the 49ers, they didn't quit, and they fought their way back and made this a football game.
Time now for the State Farm Game Break. For Chris Spielman, Peter Schrager, our entire crew, Tom Brenneman saying so long. Let's go to Los Angeles. State Farm Game Break.